Hi, Matt here from Life Turnaround Now. I wanted to talk today about achieving your goals and not letting fears get in the way of your goals. Hopefully you can see this on my board. I've had to leave the blind open on the window, so you've got a bit of reflection. I apologise about that, but hopefully you can see this okay. And there's also a nice picture that my wife did for me a while back, because I was being a bit grumpy the other day, and she drew that up there and told me to smile a bit, so that's very nice. But we're actually going to use that. I don't want to rub it off, but we're actually going to use that. So hopefully this will come out, but let's say you're here, okay, this is you, and your goal is over here, okay, and you have to do some things to get to your goal. The great thing here is that you can obviously see your goal, right? That's really, really, really important. I think what a lot of people don't realise is you have to be able to see and visualise your goal. Napoleon Hill said, what the mind of man can conceive and believe it can achieve. And that's the thing. You have to believe your goal. If you're saying, I'm going to do this in the next whenever, and it's a major thing to do, is it going to happen? Probably not, right? You have to believe your goal. So you have to be achievable, but make it big enough, okay? So I think a lot of people struggle with this. Is my goal too big? Is my goal too small? I don't understand how to do it. Actually, a way to determine this is, if you think of it like this, the big challenge we have is that most people's goal is not big enough, and what you then get is you get all the fears are in the way of the goal. So when I'm trying to look, I can't see past my fears. Now I'm just going to check on the camera. I hope that's coming out. Sorry to go close there. But you can basically see here are my fears. Okay. And here's my goal. Problem is I can't see past my fears to my goal. I might know it's on the other side of there, but I can't actually see it. I don't believe that it's there. Someone might tell me, oh yeah, your goal's on the other side of those fears. That's no good. I have to believe these things to achieve them. So we can do some things, like we can get rid of our fears. And by taking small steps, you can absolutely do that. And what Anthony Robbins always says this, it's like eating a big piece of cheese. Big piece of cheese like that, you could stuff it all in your mouth, or you can just poke holes in it slowly like that, and eat those little bits slowly, and you'll end up eating the whole piece of cheese. So we can do that. We can try and get rid of our fears and overcome our fears. The other thing we can do is make our goal big enough. So let's go back the other way. If you can imagine, my board's not big enough to do this, but let's say, here's my fears again, proportionally, and it was the same size as what I drew before. Okay, so you've got all your fears in here, right? If my goal, again, is that big, I still can't see it. I still can't see past my fears, right? What I've got to do is I've got to make my goal big enough so I can actually see it, and I can start to believe it, and I can say, yeah, I do see my goals. I do know I can get them. And maybe at the minute you can only see this bit here, right? And maybe you can only see that bit there, but the point is you can see it, and then you start to see more of it and more of it and more of it. And as you do that, as you achieve more of your goals, your fears get smaller, 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 smaller. And then they never really go. Let's be frank, right? Goals never really go. I heard a fantastic speaker once talk about baggage in your life and fears and things like that. It's like rowing a boat, okay? You're rowing a boat towards your goals, and all the baggage you carry and all your fears and all your worries is like the anchor behind. It never really goes away, but it disintegrates down, and the rowing gets easier, and you can keep going to the point that you kind of forget they're there. They're probably always there, but you just sort of forget they're there. So one of the things you can do is you can overcome your fears, and we'll talk about that later, but something to start with, you've got to make your goal bigger than your fears, right? Great example, salesperson, completely scared of making a cold call, right? So in that scenario, there's probably a goal is to keep your job, right? That's quite a big one. I've got to get paid. And the second one is I've got to make a sale. I want to make some commission. If you're just thinking, well, if I make commission, doesn't really matter, I'm not really that bothered, your fear of cold calling, you probably won't overcome it. If your goal is, hey, if I make 10 phone calls and make a sale, I can buy, go out for dinner, or I can take my girlfriend or my wife out or whatever. And that's really, or husband or boyfriend, whatever you've got, or friend or whatever. But the point is, if you make your goal bigger than your fear, you'll be able to overcome your fear. I think it's really difficult just to tell someone to overcome their fear. What you've got to do is have the goal and make it bigger than the fear, and then they start to do that, and the fears get smaller, and then the goal becomes more achievable. So I really, really hope that helped. I mean, if I was you and you're struggling to achieve your goals right now, maybe you might be doing the right process. Just sit down and have a look and see if the goal, maybe you need to make the goal bigger. You can check out some stuff on lifeturnaroundnow.com. I've got loads of goal setting techniques on there. And if you want my free 20-page success guide, you go to lifeturnaroundnow.com, I almost forgot, /success. And you put your details in and you can download it straight away. It's been great talking to you. I'll see you soon.